Hey there! How's it going, everyone? Are you ready to learn something new today? Oh, that's great, because I have a great topic to share with you. Have you ever heard about query overrides? If you don't, then don't worry, I'm here to guide you through. But hold on. If you are not familiar with query overrides at all, then you cannot miss my video where I give you a big picture of how those query works. I added the link in the description below, so check it out. Now let's talk about when you should use the query override. So picture this. You've just added a new attribute to your product, and now you want to add this attribute in each response for the product detail query. So how to do that? And this is the scenario where the query override is the way to go. Let's get started by adding a new attribute in Magento. I'll call this attribute test and make sure it is exposed via GraphQL API by checking these checkboxes. Now you don't have to, but for simplicity of this tutorial, I will put a default value for this attribute. Once we've created the attribute, let's add it to the default attribute set so that it's immediately available for products. Now I'm going to clean the cache and reindex data. Okay, so now your products have additional attribute, but this attribute is not attached to the GraphQL query response. So how we can do that? So basically, first we need to identify which query we really want to override. I know that I want to change the data on the simple product, and I know this query is called something like product details. Maybe I'm not sure. So if I want to check it, what I do, I just open the networking tab, and then I go, for example, on the product page. And here in the list of queries that were executed, or rather the requests that were executed, I can see that there is a product detail query. And this is the exact name that I want to use to override my query. So I just need to remember that, and I will use it in the configuration in the middleware config file. So just let's remember that name, product detail. Let's just switch to our IDE. So here I have a storefront repository, and how to start. So what I like to do is I like to find the original query in the API client package. This is the separate package, and I will attach the link in the description. So let's find the query. I have it on my local machine, so in the packages, in the API client, in the source, there is an API directory, and inside I'm looking for product detail. Here is the whole query. I simply copied that query as an initial query that I will modify later. This is the easiest way that you can do that. You can also use GraphQL client or whatever you want, or you can check the Magento 2 schema. It's up to you. I do this way because I have ready to use query inside the package that I usually use anyway. Okay, so now let's create the directory where I want to keep all my custom queries, and I will name it custom query, whatever. And inside I will add a file, product details query custom JS. Simply paste the code of the query. What we have to adjust is we cannot use import inside JS files in the Magento project. So what we have to do is change it to const GraphQL is equal to and also we need to change the way the GraphQL is exported. And basically that's it. Now what we want to do, we want to add our new attribute that we just created in the Magento here inside the item object. So let's do this. So what we want here is that whenever we make a call on that endpoint, we will get the response, and within that response we will have that field inside. This is our new field that we just added. How to use this custom query override actually. We need to go to the middleware config.js file, and here we need to import that query. So first let's make product detail query custom. Yes, that will be it. I just want to copy this. And now here under the integrations, Magento, here we need to add the configuration for the custom query. It looks like this. So the key is custom queries. And this is where we want to override the default query. So what we want to have here is the name of the query. This is the product detail query name. And we need to create a function that will return the context and our query. So let's use that query here. And that's it. Let's rebuild the application. The application must be rebuilt because otherwise the middleware config.js won't be loaded properly. It's loaded on the build time, so we need to do that again. Once the application is built, let's switch to the browser and let's go back to jackets, for example. And here, yes, Mrs. Olivia. In product details, for this point forward, the attribute will be permanently attached to every request you make on the front end. This means that you can now utilize it to enhance your website's functionality and take your user experience to the next level. Are you ready to take your vuestorefront skills to the next level? Buckle up, because in my next video I'm going to show you how to use custom queries to supercharge your requests. Stay tuned.